We are live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Clydesdale Fitness and Friends. We are so stoked to have the unapologetic Danielle Brandon with us tonight for a little fun Friday night here on the YouTube channel. So we are live. You can jump in with questions if you like. But we're going to start with some laid back conversation with Danielle, and we'll take your questions as they come in. So Danielle, it has been 18 months since we've had you on this podcast.
Wow, it's been that long?
18 months. You were episode 101, and we're on episode 264.
Wow.
That it feels crazy.
Yeah, you guys been grinding.
But it feels like a blink. Like
really
it feels like just yesterday. Now, I know I talked to you for the Rig Report just a couple months ago about the R.A.A.D deal.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep.
But this podcast, we have not had you on in 18 months. So a whole lot has happened since then.
Yeah.
So at that point, you had just moved to Vegas.
Yeah, I literally remember like doing this podcast at Mel's house, like when I first moved there. Exactly.
Right.
That's so weird.
How many different places have you lived now in Vegas? Because I feel like you've been jumping around a little bit, trying to find that perfect spot.
Exactly. I want to say this is my fourth spot.
Okay.
My fourth or fifth.
Is it your best spot? Like, do we think we're going to stay here for a while?
Yeah, my best spot.
And is this your spot? Like, this is your spot. You're not moving in with somebody else, or?
I do have a roommate.
Okay.
Yep. So Kiefer, the underdogs coach, who Justin brought in, is my roommate. So it just worked out. He was coming for the summer, and he like needed a spot for the summer while he was here working with underdogs, and like the apartments that I have, like the 2-bedroom, just big and nice and affordable. So
yeah, it's funny. Last time you were on a bed in a bedroom. Now you get to be in a living room in front of a couch.
I was definitely like a college boy, like a mattress with no bed frame. Like I don't even know if I had sheets on it. Like, yeah.
So I'm assuming the new place is pet friendly.
It is. Yes. Yep.
And you got to bring the dog.
Yep. I have
Cash.
He's taking a little nap.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. Long day at the gym, hot day. Today, like, it officially got really hot so yesterday and today. So he was definitely close.
Yeah. It got humid here in the Midwest. So like it's not hot here, but it's just sticky.
Yeah. Which is like maybe worse.
Right.
You can't hang on to anything.
Yeah. So from that point where we interviewed you, you went to the West Coast Classic. You had a pretty good like quarterfinals and all that. West Coast Classic, underdogs dominated. That was just a fun sight to see and be there live for that. I love that whole experience.
Yeah. It makes me like emotional thinking about it.
So thinking about that, now this season, you don't have Bethany, you don't have Carrie, and you're kind of the lead underdog.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
You're definitely you're the most experienced.
On me. Yeah.
You know, and I think that this is your year, right? With everything that's happened, it just seems like it's mounting up to be your year.
Hopefully. I like the sound of that. That sounds good. I want it to be. Yeah, like I feel like I just haven't gotten to have just like a normal games year. And I really thought that last year would be it. But, you know, like I think it all happened for a reason. And, you know, thinking back on the games there, and it did happen for a reason. There was literally a moment after I think Carrie had gotten out officially, you know, like her games were over, where I like went up to Cooper and Justin before the swim. And I literally was like, this is God's way of telling me to like shape the F up, because I get this opportunity this year. And like, not to say I didn't deserve it, but like Carrie and Bethany worked their asses off that year. And I did too, but like they did that much more, right? Like they did everything inside and outside of the gym. Whereas like, you know, I definitely was like, oh, maybe I'll like stay up a little later. And, you know, I sacrificed a lot, you know, like that balance. I didn't live like the greatest lifestyle that maybe a CrossFitter should, right? Or as much as Carrie and Bethany. And so just like I got that opportunity last year, and it really like after the games, I was like, all right, we need to like make some changes mentally and lifestyle wise.
Well, something that happens like that at the games has to make you take a step back and examine what you're doing, right? Because you had the toughest CrossFit Games that anyone has ever had.
Yeah.
Right. And you survived it, and you finished 11th in the world.
Yeah.
With not ideal situations, having someone escort you around to make sure you didn't breathe on anybody.
Yeah.
Like, and you still, and I know it was tough and it was frustrating, and you could see even the ebbs and flows in your posture and your demeanor through that weekend. But at the end of the day, you survived it, and you kind of thrived.
Yeah. I think I was meant to go through that. And you know, not to say it's like the hardest thing I've ever been through in my life, but as an athlete, and like in my career, I hope that's like the toughest thing I have to go through, toughest competition I have to go through. And I learned so much, and it literally just like kicked me in the ass. And like, I've made a lot of changes, and like mentally I'm so much different this year. And I know it's because of that. So
Can you talk a little bit about some of the changes you made?
yeah. I think a huge part of it has been making sure that I'm eating and sleeping and recovering. Right? Like those things I think I kind of blew off a lot last year. Like eating, I had gotten away with not fueling my body as well as I should have. And I would get through training sessions, right? And every time that I got through a training session where I wasn't really fueled and like didn't eat enough, that would be like just another confirmation, like, oh, I don't need to. Or like, it's like, you know what I mean? Like I would get through. And
it's
so
like when I eat a pint of Ben and Jerry's ice cream, and then I PR the next day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I can eat that Ben and Jerry's because good things happen when I eat the Ben and Jerry's. That's a true story, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I believe it. And like, it was just that, but like opposite, right? Like I would be like, I'd be so exhausted from training, and I'd be like, oh, like, I just like don't want to eat. And, you know, I've gone through like my experience with food, and as I think a lot of women have, and I just like, right, like those training sessions being super underfueled would just, you know, just like make a bad habit even worse. And then like this year I made a lot of changes, and I'm like eating more, and like Kiefer has been like great at like helping me stay on top of eating, like breakfast, and Mike Malloy. So, and it's just like, it's made a huge impact on my training. And then like sleeping, and, you know, maybe like I do like love time with my friends, and I love to go out, but like maybe instead of saying yes every time, like maybe say yes like half the amount of time, you know, like, because you have to remember like your goals, and like, you know, going to bed, and like those kind of things. And then also just like anything that's not bringing me good energy, or that's not helping me towards my goals, get rid of it. Stuff like that. And
yeah. Do your friends understand? Do you think they understand that?
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I've made sure that like, I won't allow anybody in my life that doesn't understand that. And if they don't, then like keep them at an arm's distance, and like, you know what I mean? Like everybody has those different friendships, and that's something I've been like navigating this year, is like, you know, not everybody's going to be your best friend, like, but you know, just like normal life things too that everyone goes through. So those have been some big changes, and then just like mentally, some mental changes.
So how is it living with an underdog's coach and having that accountability 24 hours a day?
I think it's something I needed. And as much as like I'll literally wake up and he'll be like, "Have you eaten yet?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Well, do you want to have a good training session?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay, well, like you have to eat." And I'm like, "Ah." Like, and then it's funny too, because he also Cooper, my agent with lab management, like will text Kiefer to like tell me stuff. He's like, "I know you're Danielle, so like, can you tell her to do this?" And I'm just like, "Ugh." And Kiefer's like, "Don't kill the messenger. Like, don't kill me. Like, it's not me, it's Cooper." And I'm just like, "Ugh." But it's something I need. Like,
That's funny.
yeah.
Are you ignoring Cooper? Are you not answering your texts, or is your phone dead, or you're just not?
All of the above. I'm just like not a great responder, as like
That's funny.
anybody in my life will tell you. Yeah. I just like, when you're on your phone for like Instagram and all that, when it comes time to like answering like regular things, you just like don't want to be on your phone. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think I'm on like do not disturb like every day, all day now, which it's something I have to get better at. But I think I silence like Instagram notifications too.
That's probably a good idea.
It ultimately is,
Yeah.
but sometimes people
Instagram can be dangerous, I think, and not super helpful for people, especially, you're an attractive young woman, and I'm sure you get a lot of crazies on there, and it's just not productive.
Exactly. It's like, get on, do my business.
Right. Do your business.
Here, like, see what my friends are up to, and then like, okay,
Peace
that's
out.
enough,
So what are those pressures like? With all your sponsors, I'm sure you have to be on Instagram all the time as your job, essentially. And what are those pressures like every day?
I think sometimes, like, because we do have obligations, but it's easy to be like, "Oh, I don't want to do this." But also like, that's what's allowing me to like train and live this life that I get to live. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
yeah, be poopy about it, but then be like, actually, like, this is pretty cool. Get it done. This isn't the worst thing you have to be doing. And so it's really not that bad at the end of the day. And you just have to remind yourself, like anything, like anybody's job, like,
Right. It's part of the
hey,
job.
Yep. Like, this is what allows me to do this. This is what pays me. So.
Yeah. So with all of the changes you've made, where are you seeing the most significant increases? Is it in strength? Is it in engine? Something that I'm not thinking of?
I would say just like my engine, and just like being able to attack workouts that in the past, like I would not do it. And I think a huge part of that is just like my mental game too. Like, they go hand in hand, right? Like, I'm putting in the training and the work. And then also like my mindset's a lot better. So then those can come together and I can attack a workout because I'm physically more better, but also just like mentally in a better place.
Do you
Are you
find
working?
that with
Sorry, Amy, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you find that with these new changes, like the sleep and the eating better, like your recovery is so much better? And
Oh yeah. And I'm just like in your mood,
Yes.
like I'm just like ready to train the next day because I'm not super tired or like underfueled, and I'm like happier and in just a better place mentally, like regardless of performance and
Totally.
CrossFit. Like,
Yeah. How old are you, Danielle?
26.
26. So recovery is probably not much of an issue. It's funny you say that, Amy. Amy and I are both like 40 plus athletes, so recovery is like a big deal. But I'm pretty sure when you're 26, there's no such thing. You wake up and you're recovered.
As long as I'm eating enough and like getting quality sleep, which is like all most people can do,
Mm-hmm.
So I have a weird question with all this. Morning Chalk Up did a piece this week about the most athletic CrossFit athletes. And Chase Ingram said that you were the most athletic female CrossFit athlete
Wow.
today.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
my question is it kind of a curse to be that gifted of an athlete that you don't have to do all the things to be great?
No. And like I have thought about this, right? Like with handstands. Like a lot of the other underdogs like have a lot of handstand practice and stuff. And I'm like, oh, like I want to be doing that, and I'm like, wait, like I don't need to. And honestly, because I excel so much in those areas, like I get even more time to work on the things like I suck at. Like I don't have to spend as much time on like the things that I'm really good at, like, some gymnastics pieces. So ultimately, like I have an advantage. Like I get to work on the things I suck at more.
So with all this, I did a little bit of research. I did a lot of research today. And I found some pictures of you pole vaulting at Sacramento State.
Oh, cool.
And I was just blown away. And I guess I didn't like look at pole vaulting that closely before, but how much you have to let go and put into that to get up over that bar. Like you are completely upside down on the way up.
Yeah.
And then you have to throw your body over the pole, over the bar, and fall whatever 15 feet below.
Yeah.
It just blew me away. And it showed not only your athleticism, but you're fearless.
Yeah. It's definitely like the most difficult sport I've ever done, pole vaulting. There's just so much that goes into it. Like your run, like how you plant the pole, when you plant the pole. There's just like so much technicality wise to it that.
What does starting in that sport look like? Like, you learn how to ride a bike, you got training wheels, right? Or you're doing BMX and you got little bumps. What does your starting pole vault look like? How does that even work? How do you train for that?
So I think in high school, I think I had started pole vault freshman or sophomore year, and they knew I was a gymnast. They like, all the like weightlifting coaches and like track coaches, like they all knew each other, and they saw me like in PE class and weightlifting class, and they like saw how I moved. And so when I had started track, they were like, hey, we want you to pole vault. And the funny thing about pole vault is like, if you watch like the first day of high school track, the day that like you start to like express interest into like events and stuff, and you like go to your little groups, literally pole vault has like half the team over there. Like it starts out with like 30 people, but then people realize like how hard it is, and it dwindles down to like 5, maybe 10. Like no doubt. Like everyone's like, oh, this is so cool. Like I want to do that. And then they realize like how hard and scary it actually is, and like they all quit. So it started like that. Like they were like, you should do it. And I was like, okay, whatever. And I think I had a couple friends that did it, and I was like, cool, I'll do this.
Yeah, but what is it like actually like doing your first jump? Like how do they teach you how to do it?
Oh yeah. So like they'll teach you like how to hold the pole.
Okay.
You'll just like do like, because it's a very different technique style of running, right? Like running with no arms, carrying this heavy pole. So they teach you that. And then usually they'll have you just on, and then like when we get on the runway, you'll put the pole down and you'll run with it like this, and then just like jump. Like,
okay.
Right? Because like you don't have to like.
So there's no pole in front of you. You're just jumping.
Yep.
Over.
You're literally just like jumping, and then like usually you'll do like some drills of, I think we did like here, and then you'll just like pull yourself tight to the pole and like bring your body up and then like land on your back.
Okay.
So
and then you just increase that angle, I guess.
Yep. And then like they'll we'll do that forever, and then they'll like put up like a little bungee, and they'll just be like, all right, like try to get over, and like the like natural, like good ones at pole vault will like figure it out, but it's really hard. I honestly like was not great in high school at it. like I was like good and strong and like could get by with like really bad technique. But like when I got to college, my coach was just like, I don't know how like you did this, like the way you did. I don't know how you were like successful at it. And then like,
Well, I was watching it just the other day, and I actually said to my husband, I said, "Can you imagine what it would be like if I actually tried to pole vault? Because
I
I
totally want to
might
try
be
it.
athletic, but I am not like coordinated. I could not do this. So there's a huge piece of coordination
oh yeah,
with that, right? I mean,
yeah, it's
geez.
hilarious. It's probably like the funniest thing to watch like high school boys try it because like, they think
Oh my
fearless.
gosh.
Like
And
it's
not
so
coordinated.
yeah.
Oh.
Like even the most athletic people like struggle with it. It's just there's just so much.
I want to
Yeah,
try
at
it. I
my
think
high
that should be
school,
a field trip, Amy. You and I should go to a track and we
Okay.
should learn how to pole vault. We could do a
Let's-
series on it. I think it
Let's
would be
yeah,
amazing.
definitely video that because that will be interesting.
that will go viral.
Danielle is dying, right? Let's do it. I'm serious. I'm freaking
I
serious.
think
I'm gonna
like,
look around.
and it's funny because people are probably like, yeah, like we'll do this, and then they like stand on the runway with the pole, and they're like, wait, like how do I get the pole into the box? Because
Yeah.
that's a very crucial and hard step.
Yeah. I did high jump as a grade schooler. I think I won like second in the state in high jump in 8th grade, which is I was a ballerina, so I know how to jump and I know how to like move my body. But I remember as soon as I started to jump something higher than like eye level, like when you're running towards it and it's like a little bit higher than you're like, nope, I'm out. I can't.
Just run by it.
Yeah, I can't. It's kind of like, you know, again, I'm 5'2", so doing like 30-inch box jumps when it's already like at your chest, really hard to do.
Like, oh, maybe this isn't it anymore.
Yeah, but I like that idea. I'm gonna look for some tracks around here and see if I can't figure that out.
Yeah.
Well, once a year at my high school, at least one of the guys missed the pit completely.
Oh,
Like they would just go off to the like 45-degree angle.
yeah.
Have you ever had a pole break?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's got to be terrifying.
Yeah. It was like I did like a 360 and I was just like, what? And like
Oh no.
It's more like it's more freaky because it's really loud and depending on like where it breaks, it can be really dangerous. And that's what's I think usually like what's more dangerous is like where the pole is. It like I've seen it like stab people in the hand.
Oh yeah, I didn't think of that.
Flying, and it's like I mean that's a lot of weight on a pole and then to send it flying. Yeah, I've broken a pole and I want to say that's like in high school I like landed on the mat wrong and like tore my I like rolled my ankle and like it tore. It was like worst. I think that's like the worst injury I've had.
When was the last time you pole vaulted?
Probably not too long ago. Like
since CrossFit? Like since
yeah, like I've pole vaulted post collegiate just for fun. Like I've showed up to my old college's practice and like
fun.
Did stuff. Yeah.
Do they have any concept of your notoriety in CrossFit when you show up?
A lot of my old teammates do, but now like I don't even know if like I don't think I know anyone on the team anymore.
Okay,
you know, that's so sad.
Well, I don't know if you can see, but Wad Zombie is saying that he would watch Kat and Amy attempt to pole vault.
We're doing it. Let's do it.
Like I can picture myself like running with it and then getting there and stopping. I just feel that about myself.
I want to try it. Definitely want to try it.
At least you know that about yourself.
Yeah.
I think the progression to it is interesting to me, you know, and like Amy and I are both coaches, so we can we break down movements and things. And I think about it even when I watch Ivy and her gymnastics stuff that she does, like the basics, because you know what you see when you watch, you know, like Olympians doing in gymnastics or collegiate level gymnastics, you know what those events look like. And it's so interesting to me how they progress the young people into the movements, like the vault, where they just kind of come over and they're like poker straight and they just kind of like toss over. You're like, oh, okay, that's how you learn how to do something like that. It's kind of neat.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that girl's going to be the next American Ninja Warrior.
Oh my goodness.
We have an interview with Justin that hasn't released yet where he talks about Camp Rhino having the ninja gym
Oh yeah.
and
It's
that Ivy
crazy.
can't stay off of it.
Oh yeah. She like even today, like at the end, they were getting ready to leave, and Ashley's like, Ivy, I don't even think you said hi to Danielle, because like she got there and she just goes straight for the ninja gym. He's like, I'm gonna go in
Unreal.
here. And I'm like, okay.
So yeah, so for people who are listening that don't know, Justin Kotler, Danielle's coach, head of the Underdogs Athletics, his daughter Ivy is a gymnast, and she's what, 5, 6? 5. Yeah, and she's insane. And you've gone to watch her compete several times.
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys have like the craziest, cheering squads?
Oh yeah. Like we were the loudest for sure. I think one time we like went, and then there was another group that like started to try to one up us, and we were like, no, we will be the loudest.
You guys have to be like the fittest spectators too, though, because I know, my daughter used to do all-star cheer, and so the caliber of people that go and watch their kids do all-star cheer, they are not the fittest group.
No.
So I can imagine that you guys are like a little bit of a sideshow, when you go.
Oh, I'm
in
sure
a good way.
And we're like, we're just like having a good time. We're like, and it's funny, we're like, oh, like this is so bad. Sounds bad, but it's all innocent. It's all fun. We're just like, oh, like those other little girls aren't as buff as Ivy. Like, oh, that routine was not nearly as good. We're just like trash talking these like little kids. We're like competitive for Ivy. We're just like, oh, Ivy's the buffest one out there. Like,
I love it. As you should be.
So how does it make you feel that you've joined kind of this little family in Vegas, and you color your hair and Ivy wants to color her hair?
Oh yeah, it's cool. Even before we talked about getting our nails done, because Ivy wants to have the same color nails as me for semifinals. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. It's cool because I didn't really like. I had a little brother, but you never think about it growing up, but how much of an impact you actually have on like little kids. And so like being around her, I just like see it now, like everything that we do in the gym, like she picks up on so fast, like the way we respond to things, and like the way we like talk about workouts, like, she like does it in her own way and like does the same things we do. It's crazy. Like, I think the funniest, it made me think of one time, like Justin gave her a workout to do because we were like doing ours, and she was just like, what'd she say? She was just like, that's lame. Like, that's not even hard enough. And I was just, oh my gosh, it's so funny. Like, she just is a little like mini combination of all of us. So it's crazy.
It's cute.
They're such the kids are so cute. Jax and her. We got to eat dinner with Justin and Ashley after West Coast Classic, and those kids were 100 miles an hour.
Oh, you should see Jax.
Nonstop.
Jax is like coming into that, like nonstop, little stud, like, like, tries to show off for all of us, is running around and picks up things crazy, right? He has a crazy older sister to learn all this stuff from. So
yeah. Cool. So talking about crazy, one last thing from the games.
Yeah.
The handstand walk.
Yeah.
I can't not ask you. That is one of the most unbelievable feats I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
You went faster than I can run on your hands.
Arguably, maybe. Who knows?
No, you haven't seen me run.
I've actually seen both, and I can actually attest
that might not be a compliment. Might not be a compliment.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. Yeah.
Super fun to watch.
So I know that is your wheelhouse, being on your hands. You love that.
Yeah.
You've won wall walk events. How did you get so fast and so natural to go over those obstacles at that speed?
I literally I don't know. The first time I like started really doing that stuff was when I moved here to Vegas, doing a lot more of like the specific skill, more advanced stuff like that. I don't know. I don't think I like did anything crazy or like super out of the ordinary. I mean, as a kid, probably like I was just always on my hands. Like I remember my mom would just be like, "Oh, like try to open the door with your feet," or like crazy stuff. You know, she'd be like, "Try this, try that." Yeah, I'm just like super comfortable on my hands. And also I just have a really good like overhead position. So combine that with like being able to be on your hands makes for a good combo.
And being fearless. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
I
ended
was-
up winning that event, correct?
Huh?
You won that event?
Yeah. Yep.
So last time we talked, the only event you had won, but prior to that was Cut 2, and you were disappointed that your trophy said the lamest name ever for an event win.
It's like on top of my fridge, and it says second cut. And then like to event 8, that's like the name of it. Cause last year they named him just like event 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have
right.
cut and event 8. Like these are the lamest names ever.
I forgot they had done that because I was gonna say, are you happy now that you got one that doesn't make it look like you got cut?
Just
Right.
event.
Second
Like
cut, event 8.
Yeah, I did it.
Of
I did
course.
event 8.
I was selfishly very annoyed that they kept putting you in that far lane inside this Coliseum, because where we were on the media side was on the other side. And so we were always like the farthest away from you as possible. And I have like really good photos from inside, but like from only like the first 2 or 3 lanes of people. I was like,
Dang. Yeah.
But next year should be different.
Yeah.
So you go out of the games, you have this epiphany that it's God's plan that you need to put more into it.
Yep.
And then you have a back injury.
Yeah.
But you still compete at R.A.A.D.
Mm-hmm.
How hard was it to go to R.A.A.D and do that knowing you weren't 100%? Or did you just use it as a test?
It literally, like, I feel like we went in knowing it was just going to be for fun. Like, that's it. Like, it was like, this is just purely for fun. And also it was Carrie's last time competing. So I was like, let me just like go literally just have fun. Like, however workouts go, I can't be mad. We know I haven't been training for it. So it was just have fun and like hang out with Carrie, hang out with the other athletes. So, but
well, I know
being injured, but
yeah,
right.
I knew
I know you like your music.
Yep.
How was the hat, the boots, the belt buckle?
Oh, that was amazing. I was like, this is for me. I'm so happy. I was like, this is it. Like, nobody can top this. Nobody can top this. That was awesome. Like,
I actually volunteered at that event.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there watching you all get sized.
Yeah.
And you were treated like rock stars.
Oh yeah. It was so cool.
Yeah. I've never seen a hat custom made.
Oh, a hat custom made like that? Yeah.
But they like melt it to your head, right? Or do something.
The patches. They put like a R.A.A.D patch on it. I think it was a R.A.A.D patch.
Well, and they would size them and then they would bend it if they wanted it bent. They would do all that kind of stuff and kind of make it unique for each person.
Yeah.
And then the boots, they had like 5 billion different kinds.
Yeah.
They were gorgeous.
Yeah. And they really tried to like match your style too.
Yeah. So. It was funny that when the legends came in, like they were just digging it. Because when they had come through, none of that was around.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. They did like an awesome job.
Yeah.
All of R.A.A.D. I mean, even the events. It's just like it made it that much more easy to like have fun competing. You know, and they say R.A.A.D is like a showcase, and it totally is that. Like they just want you to like be able to go out and have fun and like show off your fitness and like, you know, and it's like
a high dollar all-star game.
Yeah.
Almost, you know.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. And then you got to hang out with the strongmen.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Now watching them get sized was a completely different kind of
Oh my God. Well, and then some of them, I forget, like we talked to somebody in the elevator and they don't have great English. So just like talking to them is like a whole other like navigation. And then they're just like these huge men, you know. It's crazy.
Well, Brian Shaw couldn't get cowboy boots because they didn't have a size 23.
Oh, God.
What? What? A size 23?
Yeah. Yeah, it was insane.
Wow.
Real? Is that real?
Is that real?
That's insane.
Totally real.
Are those athletes natural?
I don't know.
Like, is that a thing? Do they have rules about that? I wonder.
Ooh, yeah. Because I don't know if it's like, yeah, like bodybuilding, you know how they have like
Right,
natural,
like a pro card and a
right. I don't know.
whatever natural.
And I know powerlifting has natural and not natural.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I
So
guess if you don't have the category, then probably assume that you shouldn't. But I don't know. I'll have to Google that later and see what the
Interesting.
deal is.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Not that steroids make your feet bigger. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, 23. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like how
Wow.
world
Those
has
are big boots.
like there cannot be that many people with a size 23.
No. So then I know you were planning on doing Wadapalooza, but decided that it was best to just let the back rehab. But you had a pretty fun weekend
Oh
because that's when it wasn't going to be announced that you were going to be the first R.A.A.D athlete, but the mood of Miami, the vibe just made it perfect for you to be announced that weekend.
Oh yeah. That was like that was so fun. It makes me like, I'm like, do I want to compete at Wadapalooza ever again? Like, I
just want to go.
You know, it's just like an awesome time to be able to connect with your people and fans and have fun. And like, as much as I wanted to compete, I was literally so busy that like I didn't even have the chance to have much FOMO. You know, it was so fun.
It was my first time there. The most fun I've ever had in an event.
Yeah. And it was fun to just like be able to like support Bethany and like watch other people. So that was crazy.
Yeah. Biggest vendor village I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Including the games. And everybody's just hanging out there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's like a who's who.
Yeah.
And that first release for R.A.A.D, I loved those shoes.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I didn't get a pair, and I'm kicking myself.
Ooh.
Which ones?
The white lime green.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So
And
I got a pair of the sand ones.
Oh, cool.
So, like, what's the deal? They release a color and then they sell out like in 2 days, and then you have to wait until the next time. What's happening?
Yeah.
Explain.
So they'll release a shoe, and like once they
Mhm.
release it, like that's all they've like made of it.
They're all the same shoe though, just a different colorway. Is that
Yeah.
okay?
So far, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And they do run a little bit small?
So yeah. So drops
They run
1 through 4, you want to half size up.
Okay.
You would half or full size up, and then any drop after that will be true to size.
Oh, okay.
So
Because I got a
that's good to
pair.
know.
I got a pair and they didn't fit. They were too small. They're
Ugh.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
But I just sold them on Poshmark for the same amount of money that I bought them for. So I don't feel so bad, but I didn't want to go through the hassle of like returning them because I think I was past the point where I could even get the shoe anymore because it had run out or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was disappointed, but I need to get on whatever the next release is and try to get them because I'm a shoe whore when it comes to CrossFit shoes. I'll try them all.
Yeah.
Who isn't?
Yeah. Especially with this one, like so many different colorways and knowing like once they make it, like they're not making it again. So it's like more interesting to be like, well, I need like every color and I'll make to get it again, you know?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. That first model to me looked like a mid-90s Air Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I loved it and I wanted it. But And Cooper said he was going to give me the hookup, and I didn't get it.
Okay.
What size are you, Danielle?
I think I men's 7.
Oh, okay. All
Like
right.
men's like 8.5, 9.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
what is that? Yeah.
Maybe if I'm in Vegas, I'll come raid your closet.
Yep.
Maybe.
You have a ton of Nike shoes.
No, I meant R.A.D shoes.
Right.
I don't need Nike shoes.
True.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, and we talked about that. You know, the cool part is that you actually have input in what R.A.D is going to be bringing out. Where at Nike, it was such a big company that you were just an athlete with them.
Yep.
And that R.A.D is going to have apparel coming out that you're going to have input for.
Right. Yep.
Nice.
How excited are you for that?
It's just cool. It's like, as you know, as much as I loved being like able to say I was with Nike, like this is something that I feel like I can connect with people a lot more, right? Like Nike, you connected with people who were like other Nike fans. This is like, you get to connect on an even deeper level, right? You know, people can be like, oh, I love these shoes. And you're like, yeah, like I had input on them. Or, you know, oh, I love these clothes. And it's like, yeah, I actually like helped, you know, which is really cool.
And you still get to say that you were a Nike athlete because you were
Exactly.
a Nike athlete. So
Exactly. Which is
Yeah,
cool.
best of both worlds.
Yeah.
All right. Can we talk about CrossFit now? Can we talk about the current state of CrossFit? What's going on?
Yeah.
How I don't even know where to start.
So I have a good starting
what do you
point.
think? All right, let's try this. Go
So
ahead.
Danielle, you did not get penalized during the quarterfinals.
Nope.
Is that a badge of honor in this day and age of CrossFit where everybody's video is being reviewed and penalties are being handed down?
Yeah. But also like, I shouldn't like be proud of that. Like, you know what I mean? Like I
It should be
did
the
what I
norm.
expected.
Right.
Like it's
That's
crazy.
why it was just a starting point.
Yeah. Well, good starting point.
Let's get into it, right? So you knew how to do shuttle runs. You knew that they were up and back.
Yep.
That was 2. You didn't you got the workouts early like everyone else did.
Yeah.
Obviously this is your bread and butter, but like how are you disappointed at all in sort of like the legitimacy of the whole sport at this point in time in terms of like, are you like us where we're like, get it together? Like,
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. And I
It's just
mean,
like,
I know you're outspoken enough to say what you think, but
yeah, it's more just like annoying. I'm like, what is the big deal? I'm more so thinking of like, you know, like athletes, the semifinal thing right now. You know, it's like, oh my God, like, why is it that big of a deal to like let someone go to a different freaking semi? You know, and then like, yeah, even standards. It's like, what did Hiller just post? That girl who like the Masters girl whose like time wasn't in there and then all of a sudden it was. And just one, like, yeah, that looks sketchy as fuck, but like also just like, why can't CrossFit just be like, this is what happened? To like clear it up for us, you know? Like instead they just like let people like reap and like hate on them so much. And it's like, well, if you have a legitimate reason as to why this happened, just tell people and we'll quit saying stuff. You know, like it's just, you know, they say they want to communicate better. They want to get us to trust them more. Then be like super transparent because nobody can argue with the truth. Like nobody can argue with evidence that you like show us, you know?
Yeah.
Seems simple, doesn't it?
How did you,
yeah.
You got to spend a lot of time with Dave at the ranch.
Yeah.
Because you were on the demo team, right? In 2020?
Yep.
So how shocked were you when he left? And how'd you feel about that?
So knowing Dave, like, I think it's really cool that I got to do that because I got to see a really cool side of Dave that I don't think a lot of people get to see. You know, like he is super caring of the athletes. Like it's crazy. If he can do something for you and you're like a good person, he will try his best to do it. And it sucks that a lot of people don't get to see that, but also it's like not everybody should get to see that side of him, like, but yeah, it was like very shocking to see him leave. Like I don't understand why. Like it was like so unnecessary, and the amount of like pushback that was on the team that decided to get rid of him, it was just like, why? Like, tell us why.
Yeah. Have you been in touch with him since he left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're still like good friends.
Mhm.
We're still like,
Awesome.
really good friends, which is like cool to see, like he didn't just
Sure.
like get kicked out and dip and like say F everyone that I was ever associated with in CrossFit,
Yeah.
So, and he's like helped me out a bunch since being gone, which is awesome. So
I don't know if you can see the comments below, but your coach just jumped in, and Ivy.
JC out. Love it.
They're rock climbing. Good grief.
Yeah.
And Travis says, "Bring the heat, DB."
Love
Yeah,
it.
there you go.
Yeah.
So with all of that, you come into these semifinals third in North America and basically the top seed going into the MAC.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel? Has that given you confidence, or are you?
I would say like it's a clean slate, right? It's a clean slate. Nobody, and it's funny, like during the open, I was like super, like, oh, like this is the place I got compared to last year. Like I didn't place as high, and everyone's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Right. Like quarterfinals is like, what's next? And then like quarterfinals happens and it's done. And, I got third. I don't even know. And
Third in North America. Yeah.
Okay. Cooper just texted me the other day and he's like, do you remember what place you got in the open? I bet if you asked anyone else, any one of your like other friends and stuff, like they wouldn't remember either because nobody cares. And like, it's like, do you even remember what you got at quarterfinals? He's like, I don't, because like, we don't care about that,
Right.
So it's like, it's just another stepping stone. And like, if you get confidence from that, cool. Right. Like to each their own. But like, for me, like, that's not.
Yeah, I would think for you elite athletes too, it's not, your concern is you just have to get top 10% in the open.
Yep.
Who cares what the number is? You just have to get top 120, in the quarterfinals. And you really only have to get top 5 in your semifinal. Like it's not, you don't have to go out and win. You just have to, have good workouts and, have your head on right. And then it's all about Madison, right? I mean, that's what you're training for.
Yep. It's such a waste of energy.
Right.
Like get caught up in that. Like it's just such a waste of energy. And nobody cares at the end of the year.
You are such a different Danielle this year.
I hope so. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good sign.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So in your coach's little comment below, he said you are a machine right now.
Yeah.
We had him and Ricky on a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
And after the interview, they were talking about a workout, and all Ricky wanted to know was what your score was.
That's so funny. Do you remember what the workout was?
It was a dumbbell thruster workout that was supposed to be completely brutal.
Yes, I do remember that workout. It was it 5? I think it was 5 rounds, 6 dumbbell thrusters. Did it start with thrusters? I think it did. 6 dumbbell thrusters, 20 GHDs, ring muscle ups. I don't remember how many. And then dumbbell lunges, front rack. And it was with 50s. So it was 6, 20, maybe 10 ring muscle ups, 50-foot walking lunges, 5 rounds, something like that. I'm close. But yeah, it was like brutal. Like it was just like a long grinder. I think I beat him.
Yeah, you did by by 10 seconds or something. It was pretty close. And he was like, dang it. Like,
yeah. That's
so
funny.
He's in Australia. You're in Vegas. Do you guys go back and forth like that? Or do you not always know what he's doing?
I don't always know, but like if it's a workout right now, like, right, like I'm in my zone. I try not to I try not to even care about other people's times. And I honestly don't, because like, yeah, cool. It's nice to have a time to shoot for, but like, why not just like do the best that I can do? And like, if I do the best that I can do and execute well, hopefully I beat him. You know what I mean? Like, usually I'm not even looking at the clock lately. Like, I'm just like going. And then at the end, I'm like, cool, dope. And then I'm like, what did Ricky get? You know? And then I'll ask. And we have me, Christine, Bess, and Ricky have like a group chat on Instagram, like Underdog Daddies. And it's funny though, because we're all like different time zones. So like I'll put in there like, hey guys, like what'd you get? And like Best will respond, but then like Ricky like never responds to us. Like so usually I have to find out through like Justin or something. But it's cool to be able to compare times with Ricky. So
we know that the trend is, what's that again?
Because he's a stud. So it's nice to have like a male athlete to compare against.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, and that trend has been that the male female athlete training together, because you're not true competitors,
right?
But it gives you an idea of where you are.
Yeah.
And do you think that's helped you?
Ricky or yeah. Of course, that's more just like, oh, cool. Like he is really good. You know, if I know like my time, and especially on workouts where it's like, okay, like maybe he should be a little better and like maybe I beat him. I'm like, cool. Like it's like a little confidence boost, right? You know, it's like, cool, you know? So.
Yeah, for sure.
My other question is, Justin is kind of this evil genius, right? How many times does he come to you and say, I know that the strategy you would employ is this, but I want you to try this?
Lately, I feel like we've been really good at like communicating, just communicating in general. Like today we had a workout with wall balls. And I think in the past, I would be like, oh, I want to do this. You know, I'd be like, okay, like, you know, maybe like I would do this, or like Carrie and Bethany are doing this. And I'm like, nope, I want to do this. And then like, usually it like, they would beat me and it like didn't work out and I'd blow up. But this year I've been trying to be like really intentional with like talking to him about strategy and like trying really hard to like listen to him. So like today it started off with 50 wall balls. And for me, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just like go unbroken. It was like 50 heavy unbroken, 50, 20 foot, or 20 pounds to 10 foot. And I was like, oh, I'll just go unbroken in the past. Right. And then I was like, okay, Justin, I'm going to do strategically like 25, 15, 10, like strategically, and like do it no matter what, like no matter how I feel, just do it. And he's like, that's exactly what I was thinking. Let's do it. And I did it and it worked really well. And I executed and I didn't blow up and I didn't die because of it. So I've been trying really hard to just like listen to him, because as a coach and like having a coach, like why wouldn't I just like listen to him and put it in his hands? Because that's just like a whole other, like, it's just like energy saving. I don't know, like, I don't know how else to say that.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, it saves so much of my energy. Like, let me just focus on like doing the workout and like let him game plan and strategize. And I'll have some input, of course, you know, be like, oh, maybe I was thinking this. And he'd be like, oh, even better idea. You know what I mean? But it saves so much energy just to like let him do his job. Where like in the past, I would push back so much.
That's a great observation. I never really thought about that when you have a coach, though, but that it is less to worry about. It's just, you just have to execute. The other good thing is if it blows up in your face, you can blame him for it. Right? You're like, well, that was a dumb strategy.
Like literally never happens. And I think I learned that a lot from Carrie. Like she trusted Justin so much. And like all Carrie ever focused on was like fitness and like what to do there. And like she had such a great relationship with Justin that like Justin could literally be like, okay, Carrie, this is what we're doing. And she'd be like, okay. And like do it. And like, look how good of an athlete she is, you know?
Yeah.
And then like she saves so much energy doing that.
So Ashley McMains asks a question. How long have you been working with Justin, and what drew you to him?
I've been with Justin since, so after the 2020 games, I moved to Vegas like the end of October of that year. So I feel like 2020. And then like we really started working together at the beginning of that year, like January, February. So January, February of 2021, I think I'm right on that. And then, yeah, how long I've been with him and what drew me to him. I got to see him and Carrie at the 2020 games, like how they really connected and what it was like to kind of have a coach. And then Cooper was like, hey, like DB, maybe it's time to like get a coach, And so me and Justin talked and he was like, I see potential in you. And, I was like, I know this is something I need. I'm kind of like plateauing and wasn't really going much anywhere in Sacramento anymore. I had a great opportunity to move to Vegas. So I was like, why not? It's just kind of like, why not? Like, why not do that?
Yeah. And Justin has been your biggest champion since you've gotten there. Like he talks about you in such high regards.
Yeah. And even like when I haven't done necessarily like what I'm capable of, he's like still been there, which is cool,
So my next question is, I haven't had a chance to watch the video. I don't know if it's clickbait, but Hiller has a new video out today that supposedly the games events have been leaked. No?
I watched some of it. What episode did you say you were on, Danielle? Scott, was it 101? Did you say
101?
Yeah.
101. Okay. I'm telling Ashley, who must be a new listener, to go watch episode 101 because we talk about all that.
Yeah.
I think when we interviewed you. To answer your question, no, Hiller's video was about he read a journal article from like 2003 about when Greg wrote what is the test of fitness or something like that, and Glassman refers to like these 5 events. And so I think he was like predicting or thinking like, hey, if CrossFit want to do something cool, they should grab these 5 events and make them the events at the CrossFit Games to find the fittest person. So it's an interesting article, and it was like one of the things was like a 1 rep max bench press, and then like max rep bring muscle ups or something like that. And there was like the scoring grid of like, if you bench pressed 300 pounds and you could do 30 unbroken muscle ups, there's like a little grid that you follow and you get 660 points. And that gives you, a score of 10 or something like that. It was just an interesting way to like how, Greg's brain works. It was just very intelligent and very cool little look back at an old article. I didn't get through most of the rest of it, but I'm assuming that's what it was about.
Yeah. Interesting. And Andrew Sten confirms that it was just clickbait.
Yeah, and I would hope, gosh, if those were leaked, that we'd all know about them by now.
Yeah. Yeah, and how could you believe it? As an athlete, you couldn't believe it, right?
Nah.
It's too early.
Yeah. Do you have any trepidation about the games this year, just knowing that Dave's not a part of it? Or can you not even be bothered by it?
I haven't even like thought about it. I'm like, I got to make the games first.
That's true.
Fair
point. You've never experienced a MAC before, have you?
No.
Okay. So I'm here on the East Coast, and 12 Labors is the gym that started the MAC, and it used to be just a festival, kind of like a mini Wadapalooza of the Mid-Atlantic, and it's been going on for years and years. And then the first year when it was a semifinal in 2019. I got to judge that event, and I've gotten to know Wilson really well, who's the event director. So
Mac.
Yeah, it's such a cool event.
Wilson, like CrossFit Wilson?
Wilson Pack.
Is that a different Wilson? Do you know? Isn't it like Wilson?
So that's a different Wilson.
Okay, different Wilson.
Yeah. No,
so Wilson Pack also works at CrossFit sometimes, but not permanently.
Okay.
Yeah, he does stuff for the games, but he's a brilliant event coordinator. And he's, they're putting on the Syndicate Crown this year, and they're putting on MAC. And Scott and I were at MAC last year. It was such a good event.
Really?
Cool vibe. Yeah, they treat their athletes really well. And it's just, it was cool.
That's
You're gonna love it.
I think Kyra said she really liked it.
Yeah.
It was like awesome.
And they typically do a 1 rep max lift.
Oh, yeah.
That is like part of their thing. Now, I know CrossFit's putting 2 events together, and they're very specific, and you have to do those 2 events that they programmed, and they've given them specific sort of goalposts for the other events to program. So it may not work out that way, but I'd be really surprised if there wasn't a 1 rep max of something.
Yeah.
It would be so cool.
Yeah.
Even if that's the event that CrossFit programs that everybody gets to do.
Right.
But you should love it. Have you ever been in Knoxville?
I don't think so.
You'll love that too. Very cool. Cool place. Lots of dogs.
Oof, good.
Yeah, a cat and I went to the like little town square. They have like this little square with a bunch of pubs and restaurants and stuff.
Ooh.
And it's dog friendly.
Dogs everywhere.
And I could not get 2 steps without Cat stopping to pet a dog.
Oh.
Duh.
Why wouldn't you? You can't not stop.
Right.
Yeah.
And recognize every good dog.
Right. They're all good dogs.
Yeah.
All good dogs.
But what Cat left out, the coolest part of the MAC is when you win, you don't just get the prize money.
Right.
You get a real sword.
Okay, I was gonna say, isn't it like a sword or something?
Yeah.
So cool.
That's crazy.
I have no idea how you take it back on the plane with you to Vegas, but they give you a sword for sure.
You have to ship that.
Yeah. Ship that shit.
You would have to.
So I wanted to ask you a little bit about that. Last year, your semifinal was in your hometown.
Yeah.
You got to sleep in your own bed.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have to travel.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to that, or do you wish it was in Vegas again?
I wish it was in Vegas again, just because it was really cool. And it was like super easy for a lot more of like my friends and, you know, other people in Vegas to go to. But I don't mind traveling. You know, I did in college when I was on a track team. We traveled all the time. And honestly, it makes it more like, I remember when we would have home meets for track, it wouldn't feel as much like a competition because you were at home.
Yeah.
But like, you know, it'll just be fun to be in a new environment, and, you know, nerves are good energy and you can use them as good energy. So
how early are you going? Are you getting there?
I'm going to go the Saturday of Syndicate.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh, nice.
So Christine Best is competing in Syndicate. So hopefully I get to kind of watch maybe some of Saturday, but if not, the last day.
Good.
So,
cool.
Yeah. Are you guys going to Syndicate?
Yeah, we'll be there.
Yes.
Love it.
Yeah, I'll be at both. Cat's going to Syndicate.
We will Sunday afternoon. Let's go pet some dogs.
Love
After
it.
the competition. Let's do that.
I can't say no to that.
Right? It's gonna happen.
Okay.
It's so funny. Like when we talk to Bethany, I don't know how this happened, but every time we talk to Bethany, we talk about singing karaoke. I talk about singing karaoke and how I'm going to take her with me to go do karaoke. And she's always like, yeah, okay, sure. Sounds good. So
Yeah, no.
the petting of the dog sounds a little more realistic. Like that might actually happen.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Oh, is this mom? Is this your mom, Julia?
Yeah, she's saying hi.
Hi, Mama.
Love it.
Happy Mother's Day.
True. Happy Mother's Day. Not yet, though. Not yet.
See, now you can't tell us what you're doing for your mom on Mother's Day because she's listening.
Dang.
And we'll be surprised.
Dang. Log off.
I'm hoping that my son calls me. That would be like the best.
Yeah.
He's away at school right now, and you know the talking is not happening very often. So I'd like to hear from him.
No.
So you and Kat are going karaokeing and dog petting.
No, the karaoke is Bethany.
Yeah.
That's Bethany. I mean, Danielle, if you're up for karaoke, that would be cool too. But I think probably just the dog petting would be fine.
That's a good start.
Yeah.
I think a trio would be like off the chain.
What's that?
The trio
Well,
of all three of you karaokeing something together.
Yeah, but I don't think Bethany's going to be at Crown, so maybe we'll get Christine to do it.
Yeah, we'll get. Christine will 100% karaoke.
All right, well then I'll find the place for that too, and we'll pet some dogs on the way.
Yep,
it's a date.
Christine is so down for that. I think when she was here, she like wanted to go. She's like, we have to karaoke.
I'm obsessed. I haven't done it in a really long time, but I enjoy it.
It was fun.
And did I see Kyra's in the MAC as well?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So you'll have a teammate there.
Only other underdog, I think.
So I imagine that Justin's probably just setting up camp for a week or two. Like
Literally. Like I think he leaves Thursday before syndicate, and then like is there at syndicate, going to Mac, like staying there, going to Mac, going home, going to Granite, and then straight to Atlas Games.
Oh geez.
So it's like 2.
Oh yeah, because you guys have everybody. You have someone at everyone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What are the downsides of having such an empire? you got them everywhere.
Literally everywhere. Yeah. Even
Justin told us he's going to be home just for a couple days in the middle, 2 weeks on the front end, 2 weeks on the back end. Yeah. And it's going to be rough. He's going to owe Ashley a lot.
Oh man. Yeah.
She'll be fine. I don't know. I always like when my husband goes out of town, it's almost, I kind of enjoy it a little bit. Like there's a little bit of downtime. You kind of just can do your own thing. One less person you have to kind of worry about. But yeah, I get it. I guess with little ones, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Your mom said to call your mom.
Love it.
For sure. And then Type 1 Lifting says, what song would you pick to sing?
Oh, Tom wants to know that. I have a couple go-tos. Indigo Girls is always a favorite of mine. I can belt out any of that stuff. What else? Danielle, you have any off the top of your head?
I just like go straight to like a Morgan Wallen song, but that's not like the best. But that's not going to be like the best karaoke song probably.
But I have to brush up on that,
so it doesn't matter.
All right, maybe we'll have to agree on something, and I can practice beforehand.
Yeah. Okay,
I got a couple weeks.
Yeah, Christine probably has some good ones. So
okay, yeah, we'll ask her then.
Yeah.
Does Danielle even know who the Indigo Girls are?
Oh, I don't know. I'm old. Yeah.
I've heard some songs, but I wouldn't say I'm like, not a go-to. It's not.
Yeah, well, I'm not necessarily a fan of the Indigo Girls. I just have sung their karaoke songs before.
Like Ice Ice Baby. Yeah. See, I feel like there's like classic karaoke songs. But
listen, if I've heard it before and the lyrics are on the screen, I'm down.
Yep. Me too.
Yeah. My friends and I used to play kamikaze karaoke, where you would put a song in for another person and they didn't know what it was till you get up on the stage and it appears on the screen.
That actually kind of sounds fun because then there's like not as much pressure because you're like, I don't know this song,
Right. Because when you pick it and then you screw it up, it's like,
what you pick the song,
It's how I fell in love with the Backstreet Boys.
Really? They were playing today in the gym. It was some like Spotify playlist and it was literally like white girl get up playlist or something. And like the songs were going and I was snatching and I was like, Justin, this is totally a white girl playlist. He's like,
that's
yeah,
so
it is. Yeah.
That's the other thing we need. We need to have like a collective of playlists where we share playlists. Because if everyone's on Spotify, like I'm always looking for, I get so sick of the same music all the time.
For us,
even my own stuff. Like I like my taste in music, but not 40 hours a week.
Yeah. It would be nice. Garth Brooks, Friends in Low Places. That's a good song. I could see that being a good karaoke song too.
Yeah, my voice isn't that low though. I mean, I have a low voice, but it doesn't go that low.
Right. It'd be fun to try though.
All right. I'm really looking forward to Crown now. It's going to be fun.
It will be fun.
So last question I have for you is the games you have finished 10th, 11th, and moved to 10th, which you got screwed over.
Yeah.
Let's just, it is what it is. And then you finished 15th, which was all online.
Yep.
And then you finished 11th in a COVID year where you were put behind the 8 ball and not allowed to breathe on another soul.
Yeah. We're pretty sick of the number 11.
Seriously.
Is this the year?
And Justin was like, if you get 11th one more time, we hate that number.
Just like slice it in half, right? Just take the one.
Like, you're gonna one.
Is this the year? Are you looking just to break into the top 10? Are you looking just to not finish 11th? Or are you looking to podium?
Right now, I just want to qualify.
That's fair.
See, this is really a different Danielle.
Yeah, just want to qualify for now.
It's good. I mean, if you want a different result, you got to do something different, right? So,
yep,
that's what's happening.
Well, I think you have a great chance. I've looked at the MAC lineup. You're the #1 seed. You are having an amazing year.
Yeah.
Your coach said on this podcast that you are a machine right now.
Love it.
And I can't wait to see you perform at the MAC.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tom asks, how do you pick your sponsors? And I don't think it quite works that way. Totally.
They pick me.
Yeah.
How do I pick? Short answer. Well, right. If we have interest in each other, just like any relationship. And then if it seems like a good fit for you and you like what they have to offer, and yeah. Simple as that.
I guess my last question, really, truly the last question is,
Always
last time we talked,
last
you were in a
question.
relationship. Are you still in that relationship, or are you exploring other options?
Wouldn't everyone want to know?
Good girl.
Ah, good.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love it.
And we echo what Wad Zombie says. We're all excited for you.
Oh,
Super.
thank you.
Well, thank you so much for jumping on, Danielle. It's been awesome.
Of
Nice
course.
casual conversation tonight.
Yeah, that was fun. That
Yeah.
was really
I love it.
guys.
Maybe at Crown, maybe we can do a little recap of like the day. If you're watching on Sunday or something, we can do a little sit down.
Oh, yeah.
Live, whatever. Once we're there, I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be really fun. I'll be hanging out.
Cool.
It'd be awesome.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you there.
See you guys.
And
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, Danielle.
And your mom says you're always #1 in her book.
Love it. That's what moms are for.
Yeah. All right. Bye, Danielle.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.